been teaching in Web3 before we even called it Web3 commonly. And I can tell you there are always conflicting opinions about it. And Google's algorithms, which are mining data from around the world, they would agree. There's a lot of confusion about what the heck this thing is or whether it matters. And this is a lot like the internet. And it's really hard to remember when the internet was new. So I want to take us all back for a second to 1995, when the web was pretty new to us. And so in 1995, it was a time where you would actually get it on a phone that looked like this, not like this, and you dial 411 if you didn't know somebody's phone number, and a human on the other side would actually look it up and tell you. It was a time where if you wanted to get a video when it was first released, you had to go early to the video store because they could run out. It was also a time where people they called visionaries talked about a future where we'd have telecommuting workers and multimedia classrooms. And other people said, that's ridiculous. That's completely absurd. You can't even find anything on the web. So how could that be possible? And they were both right. The web was a mess. You couldn't find anything on it. But human ingenuity worked to create something that has impacted all of our lives. And it's impacted every single one of the associations that's represented in this room. And it's impacted every single one of your members. So Web3 is even more complex. We hear about crypto scams frequently. This headline is true. These stories are true. We hear about regulatory messes. It is a regulatory mess. Tons of uncertainty. We hear about over-leverage, insolvency. Also, way too much focus on cartoon apes. It's really, really easy to completely dismiss this space and say, this will never become something. But there's also really thoughtful, really smart people that have a different side to the story. And they talk about how this is the beginning of something really powerful that's going to change all that we do and all that's possible. You've got blue chip financial firms that are doing something that seems so surface level crazy as building a lounge in a decentralized metaverse built on blockchain technology. You have brands from all industries that are starting to experiment in this space. You have people who made fortune after fortune in previous generations of the web who are saying, I'm seeing the same thing again. You have massive resources that are pouring into this space. So who is right? I've been working in the trenches between startups and disrupted technology and industry for almost 30 years. And the area I focus in is how does all this emerging technology change our behavior as individuals, as society, as culture, as organizations? And when I finally understood enough about blockchain technology to see where it could go, I realized that I completely immersed in the technology and among the builders of what we now call Web3. That was in 2017, and I've been immersing ever since. And I can tell you that this is a story of two interpretations of the same technology, and this always happens with technology. Technology is just a tool. So we'll find bad actors that will always leverage it for nefarious aims. This always happens. But we also are seeing people who are using this to do something new that could advance us. Even in our early work, and it is incredibly early today, even in our early work, we're already starting to see where this could go. We're already starting to get a glimpse of this. And that is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about what is Web3, which requires talking about blockchain. We're going to talk about how this changes what's possible, and we're going to talk about what impact it will have. I'm hoping that I can equip you to begin your journey to start to see change as it unfolds instead of it being too late.